I'm calling ice. I'm calling ice on you. 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 Stop and listen. I hear carnival music in my district. Loud and annoying. The thumping just keep coming. I'm calling ice on you. 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 I'm calling ice. I'm calling ice. I'm calling ice. I'm calling ice. I'm calling ice on you. 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 Stop and listen. I hear carnival music in my district. Loud and annoying. The thumping just keep coming. I'm calling ice on you. I'm calling ice on you. Stop and listen. I hear carnival music in my district. Loud and annoying. The thumping just keep coming. I'm calling ice on you. I'm calling ice on you. Just Eve. Just Eve.
Welcome back to my show. Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Groundhog's Day. Today is February 2nd, 2025. I'm Eve. Like I said, tonight, well, no, I'm not calling ice right now, but shout out to our good brother Yoshimod for the track. Are you calling ice? If you are, that's okay. If you're not, that's okay too. Maybe you don't know the number. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but I have seen that a lot of you have started pinning the number to your profiles, and I think that's pretty interesting. What else do I think is interesting? I think it's interesting when people have to post and delete. Don't you hate the era of the post and delete? Because is that really how you felt? Are you embarrassed about how you felt? Are you choosing your own oppression? You know, Kanye was in the news in a bad way a little while ago when he said that Black people chose slavery. And then everybody was all mad at him, and he's like, oh, okay, guess what I really meant to say. And then he had to go into this long diatribe and try to explain something that I think people have had to unlearn and relearn. So is he before his time? Maybe some of y'all think Kanye is a genius, and some of you voted for him to be president. I didn't. But whoa, what a thought. If you can be Kanye and be president, I mean, if you can be Trump and be president, we're living in strange times, aren't we? We've got America prioritizing anchor baby makers over Americans. And, you know, I just find that unconstitutional. Also, limiting someone's free speech, that's unconstitutional, Kanye. I, as much as people have been trolling Kamala, you would think that what's one more comment, but he said this, he had to delete it. I guess people didn't like that he had such things to say about our previous vice president. And I know, it can be a little frustrating when people don't take your leaders seriously. But if your leader doesn't take the position seriously, well, then who's to blame for all of the backlash? Who should you be mad at? Are you mad at the people calling you out, or are you mad at yourself for not being able to follow through? Maybe these are questions that we can ask when in 2025 you've got people who are not supposed to be here. I'm talking actual, factual, breaking the law people, and they're suing the government. Did you guys hear about that? Let me see if I can pull it up for you. So it looks like we've got 3 different states that have filed lawsuits on behalf of, quote, expecting parents in response to Trump's order talking about that birthright citizenship understanding and re-understanding and application and revocal of application. It's a lot of people who came over here thinking that they didn't have to follow the rules because, well, if they just did other things to kind of skate around the rules, then it would be too late. America's been a country who's had a lot to say about birthing. I mean, they've had a lot to do with birthing. The first crime, that original crime that America wants to continue to ignore, that chattel slavery, that those blacks keep talking about getting paid back for, the reparations that they keep talking about. Find that there's probably many births that are not getting appropriate respect. And then, well, you flash forward a couple hundred years and people are over here demanding that they get this respect that wasn't given to the first people going through some sort of birthing issue, just the rape and forced raping of the indigenous native peoples, the black people who were here before they got over here, just all of those babies and those baby makers. Well, nothing to be done about that. No, let's just skip past them and on to the next thing. But, well, I don't know why people feel like they can really advance as a group if they can't stop and pay attention to what's been ignored. Tonight I wanted to ask if people are choosing their oppression, because if you go on any of the social medias, if you listen to the news, people are angry that racism is so rampant. It's so prevalent. It's so, well, I thought we were past all of this, right? I thought America was the land of the free and the land of the you can choose the things. I mean, we've been a country that's been allowing people to choose all sorts of different things, even though they don't make sense. President Trump comes back into office and has to make some things plain. Just the fact that there's 2 genders. Feel how you feel, but you can't mess with the science. But I guess I'm going to have to play devil's advocate here, because the science, if the science is all deeply rooted in racism and all sorts of just bad math, then do you toss the science? Do you say we can do something else? Do you make up a new term? Do you usurp an old term? What do you do? Well, what's been done is people just said, I'm going to do what I want to do, and if I have the resources to back it up, well, sue me if you can. I guess that's why we're here now. People being able to sue the government because they can, not because Not because they're in the right, but just because they can. You know, I'm a little irked right now because when my computer crashed earlier, I didn't think to find the video I wanted to show you all over again because I thought I'd be able to just find it super quick. But I can't. You guys can look it up for yourself. Just the 5 different women who are suing President Trump because they're afraid. They're afraid of the consequences. One of them, I believe, is a Venezuelan illegal alien. And because there's no embassy or consulate, well, what is she going to do? Is she going to have to be subjected to being a criminal back at home in Venezuela because, well, she broke the law here? Do these people think about any of this stuff before they make that long walk to the border? I don't know. Probably not, because why should you have to? The running joke right now is that everybody's cool with how Black America is treated. And not just melanated America, you guys. I'm talking Native Black America. I'm talking the foundation of America. As long as you don't treat anybody or anything like them niggas, then everything's all right. But as soon as people start having to deal with life like how we've been having to deal with life, well, now you've got protests. Now you've got angry groups who want to show up in arms and be allies. President Trump wanting to end birthright citizenship, and then you've got people like Roland Martin saying that it's a racist divide, and citing those same groups that I just said, all of those different named Black Americans that have been instrumental to the rest of you niggas being over here and being able to do anything. I mean, from having a business to being able to get your papers. I mean, papers, it's the paperwork for me, you guys, because, well, I guess I come from people who had to walk around with their papers. Have y'all seen? Hold on. Let me see. This should be able to be pulled up. Found it relatively easy last time I was looking for it, but have you guys seen things like this before? Maybe not. Maybe you have. Oh my God. Now my internet just closed. I lost all my tabs. Okay, here we go. Gonna have to go to the thing that does the thing like that. Okay. Have y'all seen? I mean, I know it's slave records and stuff. A lot of you have seen slave records. What's another slave? No. These people posted in the paper that they lost their papers. I mean, this is our story. If you are native to this land and have melanin, if you identify as a Black American and have the paperwork to prove it, this is our story. But no, you got in 2025, people are over here saying, why should I have to walk around with my green card? Why should I have to walk around with my papers? Do you know what country you came and fled to? George Appleton lost his free papers a short time since. Anyone having found them, will you please return them to me? Richard Carey, a free man of color. On Friday, on Broad Street, my free papers. I will give a liberal reward for their return to this office. Now, I know, if he didn't say he was Black, he said he was a free person of color. Y'all are just going to have to understand that different times had different people. And all of those people, if they have the paperwork, they get to call themselves whatever the fuck they want to call themselves. How about that, goddammit? Just in my personal opinion, in my humble opinion, Black is a little big, and it's going to be a little hard for you to move anybody off of the racial identification of it all, because we live inside of a system of racism, white supremacy. If it were that easy, do you think that they would have left it at colors? I'm sorry, if it were harder than what it is, do you think that colored identifiers, I mean, there's a reason for how simple they made it, because they know that we get real complicated. We get real complex and deep and overstand, understand, understand, and, well, all them stands, you might not know where you are. You might not know where the foundation is, but I think that we can make it as simple as they did. Were you here before they got here? Do you have the paperwork to prove it? If you do, well, step on up. It's time for them to cut you a check. You see how easy that is? And it has nothing to do with what I call myself. The anchor baby makers, they don't call themselves anything but American. It's like, I'm just kidding. No, they call themselves American when it benefits them, and then they have countries who will fight for them and send people to die for them if need be. And, well, every group that's not native to this land has some sort of weird ass history of fighting the people on this land, whether they were on the other side of a war or if they are targeting our communities because of proximity. It's just really strange that we get told that we're the bad guys for wanting to close the ranks when they made it real easy for people to infiltrate the ranks. It's only white and everybody else. And sometimes, well, at least back in history, and no, I guess it was accurate. Sometimes they allow certain groups to be white. I mean, between me and Kanye on your screen, there are some niggas on planet who come from Africa who get to not be black, even though that's the motherland. I mean, you see how complicated and simple it can be? It's as simple as telling them they know who we are and they know what to do. But right now, they've been not even following the laws that they have written for themselves. The Constitution that they wrote for themselves, the one that they so eloquently and elaborately left us out of and had to add us back to in the form of different amendments. They're not even following the rules for themselves. It's kind of unconstitutional when you think about it. And, well, if you come from a place thinking that you're going to go to a place because it's going to be better over there and all you have to do is get there, then you might be a little angry that the place that you came to was a figment of your imagination. Like maybe you were existing in delusion, or maybe you just thought that if you did some things that them people would allow you access into their group. I mean, from the Irish to the Germans, and I know they have no melanin in their skin, but, well, more melanin than the original quote, quote, white people. And then you've got, like I said, the North African people now who, well, they don't want to be black, and they definitely, well, they can't really be white unless they get the allowance. And they asked permission last year and they got the A-OK. So if they're the only people who get to define what race is, then maybe we shouldn't use race as an identifier. Maybe we can do something a little deeper. I know I just said not to go super deep, but it's not that deep, you guys. It's just the math. Foundation. I mean, you lived in a house, right? You've been in a building, right? You've been to the beach, right? You know what a foundation is. And without the foundation, nothing else stands. It doesn't matter if you like a personality or not. If you're a person who understands what it looks like to win, But maybe you've never been on the winning team, and I get that too, because inside of this system, we don't have a lot of time to play. And since people think that sports is all a big game and, nobody's using it to level themselves up. Nobody uses sports to become a better person, Eve. It's all superficial. I know. But I'm just saying, if there were people out there who did use sports to, become a whole and rounded person, then maybe, just maybe, people would have more experience with winning and what it looks like to lose gracefully, what it looks like to be a sorry loser, what it looks like to be a sorry winner. Because really, the fact that some of you niggas out here want to just be the supremacist in the room, you're not really fighting for what's right. You're not really fighting for justice as much as you want to be the one giving out ass whoopings. And I mean, that might be your trauma. You might need to go see somebody about that. And once you do, then maybe we all have the same fight again, because the fight replacing a system of injustice with justice, well, the math would have to math. We would have to be able to be comfortable telling people, like, hey, look, I know it's kind of sucky for you here, but you kind of chose it, so pull up your big girl panties and tie up your bootstraps and get to work. I thought you was a hard worker. Okay, that's great. Let's get to working. Right? I mean, right now people are very uncomfortable saying things like this, and I just feel like as the foundation of the country, we would have to also show them what it looks like to just do what you need to do even though you don't want to, right? Because at the end of the day, the fact that we had to do all of these things under duress, and then again, the country flourished because of how hard we work. And now you've got people saying that the stereotype is that niggas is lazy when you can go to, I don't know, any place that has construction, USA, and see a bunch of Mexicans just sitting around. I think I have maybe 10 different pictures of different Mexicans just sitting around. They got on the vest, they got on the hard hat, they're around the equipment, but there's no work being done. They're just in the way, causing traffic. Did we give them a job? I mean, no, the roads here need to be worked on, but at this point, the way that I see people just around in these places, it's like, oh yeah, we didn't have a job. We weren't going to pay anybody to do this, but okay, we'll give it to you. And it's okay that you come from a place that doesn't have pavement, dirt roads and such. That's okay. Just go be in the way, especially where them niggas is, because, accidents, we can get the insurance rates to go up. It's a win-win-win for us. I just, I didn't really want to talk long. I just wanted to put that out there. Make sure that we're asking the right questions and, that we get comfortable making people uncomfortable, because aren't you uncomfortable? All of the Democrats, they said that the tariffs are going to make things so expensive, like Joe and Kamala didn't inflate the hell out of the economy and not in a way that made sense for us. And well, now Donald Trump says that he's going to charge all these countries that have been eating off of us. I mean, it seems like it would be a wash, right? Like, yeah, things are going to cost more, but we get to charge more. So win-win. But I guess it's only a win if we can tap into those resources. So if you're afraid of the boogeyman, well, you won't be around for the dog whistles. And I think a lot of whistling has been done, and I don't know if I'm saying that. Well, I guess I'd have to say that I was the dog that heard the whistle. Damn, I'm a bitch sometimes. But the way Trump's been dog whistling to not his friends, but not his current enemies right now. It's like, again, do you want to win? Or maybe you have another way. That's cool too. And if your way is working, well, let me know, because God damn it, I would love for us to have gotten paid yesterday. You know, Kanye comes back on Twitter talking about the world is right again because Trump is president and he's a billionaire. And I'm like, I feel you, Kanye, but damn it. No, not quite. Not yet. America's on fire. The Gulf of America is not going to be able to put it out. And we're going to have to do some things. And while you want to just make some music, that's cool. You can make some music and some weird ass clothes and, you know, have thoughts that people are not ready for. We'll be ready for them, you know, in 10 years. Well, the rest of us, well, we got some work to do, right? If you're a person who's not afraid of work, go work for Kamala, because she's still looking for people to work for her for free. But what we're doing, I guess we're gonna have to relabel it. It can't be work because y'all niggas hate work. It's gonna have to be something else. What we're doing, you're gonna have to associate it with the one thing you love. And then, well, maybe you would be comfortable telling people that they chose their oppression when they are actively trying to squash your passion, you know, your purpose and your reason for being here. But that's just me. And I know I'm just Eve, but if you agreed with me, let me know in the comments. And if you liked what I had to say, hit the likes.
Just Eve. Just Eve.